Three, two, one. Now we're recording. Tom Davies of Nebula. Nebula, thank you so much for checking in, hanging out, chatting.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Sure thing. Of course, I wanted to talk about the live stream live in the Mojave coming up. That's airing this weekend. You guys recorded it in October?
Yep, that's right. I think around the 10th or something like that. Sort of like the beginning to middle of October sort of thing. I know it's so long ago now, it seems. But everything's just a blur. You know, every day is the same in a sense. Just, yeah, with the lockdowns. But yeah, a few months ago now.
How have you seen? I assume you've seen the finished product.
No, I haven't yet. Not at all. So tomorrow's going to be, or is it tomorrow or Monday, whenever it is, Saturday? It's going to be the first time. Yeah, I've seen basically as much as anyone else has the clip. I think it's "Let's Get Lost," the promo that's been put out. So yeah, it's the first thing we've seen. Sounds like, looks great. Sounds good. You know, it's yeah. That's it. It's, we've heard the record, like we've heard the recording, but we just haven't seen the whole thing, and it's a big difference when you actually see the visuals with it. You know, it's
some striking visuals. Yeah.
Did you see definitely
the Earthless one at all?
I caught a little bit of it. I haven't seen the whole thing though. But what I saw was like, it was pretty rad.
Yeah, it's something else.
Yeah.
Can you? I mean, I know it was a few months ago, but what was it like going out there? How did the whole thing come about? What was it like getting out there and setting up and you know, doing a show in the middle of the desert?
Yeah, it was well, Ryan Jones, or Dr. Jones, he hit us up a few months prior to it and mentioned it, and we were totally down to do it. It sounded like a great idea, and but we didn't realize how big of a, you know, it's kind of a big production that they had on there, like I think 25 crew or something and whatever. And yeah, so we actually arrived late. I live out in the high desert now, by Joshua Tree, Yucca Valley, and Eddie was out this way. He was staying with me at the time, and his pregnant girlfriend, and we yeah, I think we had to, it's about an hour away because it's been filmed in Antelope Valley, but somehow we managed to be like an hour and a half late, like typical Nebula type thing. So many things to do, like the last minute before you go out the door, you know, that should have been done a long time previously. But anyway, yeah, they made it really very easy for us. It was, we showed up, and yeah, they drove us up the hill, and like 4x4 trucks, because it was bad road and whatever, and we didn't have to do like lift a finger. We just had to basically set up our pedals and anything else we wanted, and yeah, they did all the rest. It was it's great. It's a great experience, like really great experience. And I mean, you get to see some of the lights and stuff while it's going on, the liquid light show, but you know, you're playing, and so you don't get to see so much of it. And yeah, it was just seeing that, actually that clip was just like, wow, with the drones shots as well.
The drone footage is pretty.
Yeah, I didn't even notice the drones when we were playing, but yeah, it's kind of a trip seeing them fly over, you know. It's like, wow, yeah. So it was a really great experience, and we feel very like flattered and fortunate to be part of it, and you know, we were asked to do it. So
how one thing I was wondering watching the Earthless one, and even the Let's Get Lost clip, since it's night, how cold does it actually get, or was it
around October? I mean, it depends. The weather's sort of like fluctuating. You'll get days and nights where it's warm, and then, you know, it sort of starts dipping down pretty cold, like 40s kind of thing can be. Like, I mean, right now up here in like Joshua Tree, it's we've had a warm couple of days, but like last week there was snow, you know, and so it's up and down like a yo-yo kind of thing. But we were fortunate. It was kind of warmish. Well, I'm from the UK, so it was UK warm, you know. And yeah, it's, by the time, you know, with everything going, and a few drinks, it was just like blood was flying. So we didn't notice the cold too much. But yeah, I heard Ursula's had a bit of a chilly time out there. So
yeah, it looked. I mean, you know, all I've seen of the Nebula one is the Let's Get Lost video so far. But yeah, the Earth one looked kind of windy for a while.
Yeah, that's it.
But all right,
That's
I'm glad that wasn't your experience.
No.
No.
No drones being blown into our heads or anything like that. just Eddie nearly stepping in dog shit or something. I don't know if you caught that in the video.
No.
He sort of like stumbles forward and nearly steps in some shit and makes a comment about it, and it's in that Let's Get Lost promo clip.
All right.
So,
there's a couple mumbled lines in there. I'll have to go back.
Yeah. He actually had a scorpion running across his pedals as well at some point.
Treacherous.
Kind of wild. Yeah.
You guys did a stream in July that was Nebula, Mondo Generator, and Whiskey and Knives.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I guess Nick, I don't know if the
it was, I think, Mike, the guitarist, wasn't around, so Nick did his Death acoustic
thing. I don't know if I want to ask how that compared, because obviously it wasn't a crew of 25 people or whatever, but you know, what was that experience like, and when was the last time you played an actual show?
Well, like with the show down in Sky Valley, it was like a 4th of July party. Some friends basically were they have bands every now and again, and he's out there. He has a garage that opens up, and he's got like 5 acres of land, so
why not?
It's kind of cool playing down there. And it was, I mean, it's very like, it was just basically it was like a party, very informal, and we decided to stream it. Friend Jason decided, you know, it's like let's stream it and, you know, make a night of it kind of thing. So I think it's all done from one iPhone something, so the production is a little different, but I mean, it worked out. It seemed to be pretty good. It's just, you know, friends and just low key basically. We hadn't played for a while, so it was just a way to do something and just keep at it. But the last show, I'm trying to think, the last show I did, because I couldn't do the last European tour that Nebula had. I was going through immigration stuff. My green card was up, so I was renewing green card and all that kind of thing, and I couldn't. I had interviews rescheduled, and I couldn't reschedule them like a third time, sort of thing. So I had to sit that one out. But I think it was like the US tour, which was last year. I'm confused now. Like, it's all just like one big long blur kind of thing.
Late 2019, was that?
Yeah, I think we maybe did some stuff. That was the last tour I did, basically. And then they went on and did, they took our Guitar Tech Grunch out to Europe for a month after that. And I think since then, it's like we've just done those like live streams. And we did a live stream from my house because we rehearse here now. That was about the last things we've done of those things there. It's kind of weird, you know.
I would think, especially, you know, right? Nebula's gone for what, like 5 years, not playing shows.
Yeah.
Come back, reunion band, kicking ass, touring, putting out an album, and then.
That's it. It's we're set to work on any new record, you know, and like get the ball rolling again. And it's like, oh no, we're not going anywhere right now. So, but in that time, it's, you know, we've worked on the new record. We've put more time into it, and Eddie actually, as I mentioned, him and his girlfriend had their first baby, Dylan Cassidy Glass. So it's a happy little baby, and so he did something constructive with the lockdown time.
Right. Yes.
You know.
That's actually, it's a good time to be locked down. Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You're not going anywhere anyway.
Yeah. No. So it's kind of weird. It's just, and especially out here, I'm not in the city, so kind of live in a bubble out here in the desert anyway. Same rules don't apply. You know, really as they do as if you were in LA or somewhere like that, just with being out and about. And yeah, so I don't know, I haven't noticed all that lockdown, apart from the not touring obviously, but just everyday day-to-day life, it's just it's been the same. It's kind of weird. I like it. It's you know, whatever, it hasn't touched me, sort of thing. So although I'm just recovering from pneumonia, and they were trying to stick me in the COVID tent in the hospital, but the management they kept telling the nurse, but fortunately my nurse was smart, and she's like, that's not his symptoms, that's not his symptoms, like, I'm not sticking him in the COVID tent. Yeah. And yeah, it turned out I had pneumonia, so yeah, that's all right. It's just mild pneumonia, so I'm all right now.
Okay, I'm glad it wasn't the plague. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, that's it. Or the flying aids, or
yeah, any of it really, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I know that you guys were going to tour with Monster Magnet last year now.
Yeah.
And wound up working on the record instead and stuff over the course of last year. What's the status of the next Nebula album?
Well, we've got songs that we couldn't fit onto Holy Shit. We had a few songs there, and which have now since then morphed a bit more. And then like we've all been writing since then, and so we actually have like a ton of songs, and if we actually, you know, start trying to figure out what we're going to put on the record, and then like we end up writing a few more songs, and things have been a little slower because yeah, Eddie's been dealing with his baby and stuff, and so we keep adding songs, and it's kind of moving backwards, you know. It's like we get further and further back, it's like more songs, and like, what are we going to do? Okay, so yeah, we're starting to now actually figure it out, nail it down, and like we did a couple of new ones, or at least one new one for the Live from the Mojave thing, so people will be able to hear those, or that song. I forget if it was one or two we did, but yeah, so it's basically down to us just to knuckle down and sort of push it through, and then yeah, I guess Heavy Psych will be putting it out again, the next one. So yeah, I think now we're probably looking at just after the summer or something for the new record. So
it's got to be,
fingers crossed.
It's got to be different, like a totally different writing process, right? I mean, you guys are more, I don't know how often you're getting together to rehearse, especially with a new kid.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie's been staying out here a lot with me, with, you know, with his girl and the baby, because it's just quiet and nicer vibe, whatever. But it hasn't really changed too much. Like we all bring in songs, ideas, you know, or like demos, and jam them out, or, you know, someone has a riff or something, and sometimes we go work it that way. So the actual process hasn't really changed that much. It's just been slower this time, and actually we've had more time to like reflect on songs, you know, and have a bit of hindsight with them and things, which is nice, you know, because there's always, well, on our part at least, you record a record and it's like, damn, we forgot to put this part in, or like we should have done this, you know, like after the recording's done. So yeah, hopefully there'll be less of that this time because of the time. But yeah, it's been good. It's been good. We're excited. Like, yeah, feel good about the songs that we've got, and I think we've got like something like 16 or 17 new songs. So maybe we'll put out an EP as well soon after the LP, or, you know, figure out something to do with those extra songs.
I see you have the board and stuff behind you there, and
oh yeah, I have a little studio here.
How much of the recording are you going to do?
I'm not sure. We did talk about doing it here for a while, but it's kind of easy to have somebody else doing it, because then you separate yourself rather than jumping back and forth from like engineer sort of to musician seats and stuff. And yeah, that can be kind of taxing sometimes, and you forget things, and you forget ideas that you had. So, but yeah, we haven't decided where we're recording yet. We probably record out here somewhere in the desert. Eddie's moving out this way, and Mike spends a lot of time out here anyway because plays with Mondo Generator too. And so Nick's out here. He lives about 5 minutes down the road. So yeah, we're just figuring that out right now, who we're going to do it with exactly, if we're going to do it with somebody or ourselves, and where, basically. So yeah, I just got to lock that down.
At what point, I wanted to ask, you're talking about demoing with Eddie and stuff and having him out there, at what point does Mike come into the writing process?
I mean, he's usually there like at the beginning sort of thing, unless it's like somebody's come up with a demo, like I'll write songs sort of thing, demos, and just send them to the guys and see what they think, and Eddie will do the same. But usually Mike's there like with ideas, and he's pretty influential with the whole process, just with his, how a beat can change everything, basically. He's a fantastic drummer. So, and he's so easy to play with. It's like we all get along playing. Like, yeah, the first time we ever played with him, it was just like, it felt good, and it's like, okay, this is the guy, So it's very easy, and he's there basically from the start of it, sort of thing, it's all about rhythm, isn't it? So, and I mean, Eddie's a fantastic drummer too. So yeah, with the pair of them, it's we're not short of rhythm ideas.
I saw you guys on that 2019 tour, and I've seen Mike play drums in a couple of different bands at this point. But what was surprising me was how kind of Nebula's very loose, a lot of punk in there, but like kind of loose swing and flow and groove and all that. I was surprised, knowing his style, how well it really worked.
Yeah.
I mean, you've obviously played with a number of drummers in Nebula.
Yeah.
But it seems like he would, I could see where he would strike you as an immediate fit, because he really, it took me back. I was surprised at how well it worked.
Yeah, because I played with Mike I met when I was playing with the Freaks in the Nebula downtime. We did some shows with Black Heat, his old band.
Yeah.
And then I ended up playing with Black Heat for a few months.
Yep.
In LA. I didn't do any shows or anything. I couldn't commit at the time to them, but just Thomas from Black Heat, some of the ideas he had, like the time signatures and stuff, they were like off the wall, like crazy shit. But Mike was like, he'd nail it, he was doing it. And when we were looking for a drummer, it was, I had the idea of Mike. He had the personality to deal with me and Eddie, like fit right in, and I knew like he could play really fucking well. So it was we rehearsed once with him, and it was like, okay, you're in. If you want the job, maybe he regrets it now, but
right. What exactly is the personality requirement?
Patience, and patience. And just be easygoing. I mean, we're not dicks or anything. It's just like sometimes we're a bit slow to get going about things, just get caught up in our own little worlds, like la la land, basically.
might be an hour and a half late to the desert.
Exactly, there you go. So but he can put up with that, and so that's good.
How does the new songs kind of, in your mind, just what you've written out so far, how does that compare to what the band was doing on Holy Shit?
Well, some of them, like ideas from Holy Shit, that just wouldn't fit onto the record, you know. We had one song that was about 15 minutes long. It was too long, really, but we did actually record a version of it. But generally, it's like a kind of bit more of a natural progression. It's a lot of maybe a little heavier direction on the whole, but still rocking, you know, feel good rocking type thing, but just a slightly heavier vibe. Yeah, and songs, I think songs seem to be getting longer on the whole, for whatever reason that is. Whether it's good or bad, I don't know, but yeah, you know, sort of more sort of 7-8 minutes, that kind of thing. So, but it seems to, I think it'll flow on nicely. It's not like a big change or anything like that. It's just, yeah, natural progression. So,
do you think part of that, you know, the songs being longer and sort of pushing heavier, do you think part of that is a result of that having more time to sort of flush things out?
yeah, maybe. Some of them it's just that you know, we've got a few parts for a song, and it's like we like all the parts, they work in the song, and it's like you just don't want to cut out, so it's like, fuck it, leave it in, you know.
Yeah.
And the heavy bit, it's, I like heavy music anyway, and Eddie does. It's just, yeah, it's just, I guess it's the mood we're in at the moment, you know. It's just where it's going. It's just not being too concerned so much about song structures as such, you know, just letting the songs just be themselves, and seeing where it goes, and just being comfortable with that, and just letting them be, basically, rather than trying to conform them into, say, you know, a certain layout or pattern or whatever. It's just, yeah, we just let them be, sort of thing. So yeah, I think it'd be interesting, and I mean, it's going to be the same. It'll be Nebula, but just, yeah, maybe a little more songs, a little more epic in length and heaviness.
How okay, so, you know, obviously Nebula didn't any heavy. How set is Nebula's sound for you, like in your mind? And I don't mean, you know, are you guys going to start playing bossa nova? But I mean, how much do you, when you and Eddie are trading demos back and forth, and you hear that, you know, some riff or whatever, and you know, what about it defines, oh, that's a Nebula song for you?
For me, I know there's just, I can't put my finger on it. It's just, it's like a feeling almost, you know. It's like, yeah, there's just certain riffs. It's like, oh, that's a Nebula riff, you know. I can't quite put my finger in it. I've tried to, you know, if I could, it'd make things a lot easier. But it's, yeah, it's like a feeling almost, like a vibe from the riff or whatever, and that's all sort of changing as well. Like, we started messing around with synths and noise boxes and that kind of thing, and you know, inspiration comes out of that too, and it's just like, oh, this could be good for, you know, Nebula. But it's pretty much, yeah, that's a good question. That's a really good fucking question. You got me stumped on that one, because I've thought about it. I mean, Eddie might know. I don't think he even actually would know. It's just, yeah, it's, maybe I'll have to ask Mike that one, what he thinks.
Mike will know.
Yeah.
Like, go to the drummer. That's awesome. What's just out of curiosity, what's your immigration status now after all that?
Oh, I'm good now. I'm back to, yeah, I'm green card again, and
it's good. Yeah.
So it's it all went through actually really quickly when it happened. It was just, with everything going on, it took time, and I'd got divorced, so about started getting divorced about 4 years ago, and my green card ran out around then, and I hadn't I wasn't actually. I think I was only a couple of months where I was sort of in limbo, basically. But yeah, it wasn't too bad, and I actually didn't really have to do anything to get the card again. They just sent it to me. So thank you very much, federal government.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. We could have gone worse.
Yeah.
And last thing, and I'll let you go. I know that this set's coming out, the Live at the Mojave set, and you said it's late summer, maybe early fall for the album. When are you looking to start recording?
We haven't nailed anything down yet. That's what we keep fumbling over. But yeah, now we're in the new year. The baby is walking the planet. You know, he's out there. It's we've got more focus now. Just to, you know, Christmas, the holidays, all that is done. It's like, okay, now we can figure out where, you know, when we're going to actually record. But hopefully, like probably in the next 2 months or something. That's what we're really aiming to get it down. Like we're rehearsing this week and next week too. So, and rehearsals go pretty quick like that, you know. Once, because we have all the song, we kind of know it's making decisions basically, and like and hopefully making decisions we don't regret.
17 songs, man. I mean, I don't want to keep it, but seven is, you know, it's a lot of shit, man. I mean, like,
yes. I mean, but it's been what shit. When was 2019 was? So it's been like 18 months or so almost since the Holy Shit came out, and everybody's always writing, you know, coming up with ideas, and when we rehearse, actually, we always record our rehearsals, whether it's on like phones or something. So it's actually insane the amount of rehearsals we have, and we jam and things. There's listening back to it just takes so much time because, you know, there might just be one little riff at some like 2 minutes in out of a whole rehearsal, you know, that was golden, but it's you've forgotten about it, but then you come across it again. It's like, oh well, what about this? You know, it's so yeah, we have yes, that's a mammoth task actually, going through all that stuff. I need to get back on that, see if there's anything else. But then again, it's like, do you want to leave it alone? Just we've got
just don't even open that can of worms.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Tom. I'm gonna stop recording just a second.
Okay.